Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) has confirmed that parts of the presidential villa and 60% of the Federal Capital Territory (Abuja) are in darkness after vandals stole a 132 kilovolts underground cable that transports bulk electricity to its 132 kV Central Area Transmission Substation. TCN disclosed this in a statement by its spokesperson Ndidimba on Friday. According to TCN, the vandalization occurred around the Millennium Park axis of Abuja. It added that the vandals made away with 40 meters of 1 times 500 mm square conductors on the 1232 kV transmission lines. The vandalized of 132 kV underground cable transports bulk electricity to TCN of 132 same kV Central Area Transmission Substation, which then supplies power through eight number distribution feeders of AEDC for onward supply on its customers in Central Area and environs. The incident, which was carried out around the Millennium Park axis of Abuja, has affected over 60% of the power supply to Abuja, as the vandals catered away with 40 meters of 1 times 500 mm square XLPE conductors on the two numbers of 132 kV transmission lines. TCN added that the development has led to several areas in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) experiencing power outages, including Mayatama, Wuse, Jabi, Life Camp, Asokoro, Utako, Mabushi, and parts of the presidential villa. I've had this conversation with you
over and over again. Like every week, we're always having vandals and whatever it is. You know, this country, sorry I have to cut you short. This country, they are not telling us the truth. This is an underground cable, for crying out loud. An underground cable. How did they dig it if there is no sabotage from the top? I've given you examples of our local transformers here. You see people, when there is no lights, that's when they come. And like you see lights, you're seeing it like maybe I'm back, maybe around 12. You enter the house. In the morning when you're waking up, they'll tell you they've stolen an armored cable. How? And you know that there is light. So how did they do that thing? If not with the help of what's it called, the NEPA or the electricity officials. Maybe when you're there, you call them to say, please put off this one, and they put it.
And they put it.
You understand me?
And
underground cable, 40 meters. How did they dig? Who switched off the line? Who switched off the line at that time? How did they know that the lines will be switched off around, let's say, 12 o'clock? They are timing themselves and they vandalize those things.
And everything went successful.
You understand me? So you know that these people, up there from the offices, these people, they are the ones doing it. They are the ones doing it. There is no way on earth anybody will tell me that a normal human being, or like you just go out, you start digging a cable where you know that this thing, they have life in it. It's not possible. The only ones that you see gets electrocuted are the ones that are greedy. Probably they don't want to pay up there for them to take light. Maybe you're timing the light. Okay, this area from 5, they will not have light. And maybe you run out of luck that day. And they bring the lights. Or they restore power. So this thing is an in-house thing. There is no way that... See, there is no theft. A calculated theft like this that don't have an insider involved in it is not possible. I stand to be corrected. It's not possible. Such an organized thing. 40 meters of this cable. Do you know how much it is? Abuja is big. And 60% of Abuja, this cable is the thing that is supplying. That's like a main line. So how did they take the light? Is it for 30 minutes? Is it for 1 hour? How prepared did these guys come? And I bet you, it's the same cable that have been stolen that will be bought again. That same cable. And they will bring it back and install. tomorrow they'll call again. Do you know the millions that will go in this thing? So it's very annoying. I've been shouting, like, I don't know. The last time I told you that we'll be getting upset from the house, we're coming, we're still analyzing, and we're still getting upset. This thing upsets me. This is a clear case of sabotage. You see, investigate it. When did this thing happen? When did they take this light? What's up? Those guys up there should be held responsible. They should be held responsible. The people in charge of putting off powers should be held responsible because they know something about it. They know something about it.
Thank you so much on this, Victor. Please, Vice Danzi, I'd love to get your thoughts concerning this.
Yes, this is one issue we must look at pragmatically. Yes, I will start by us looking at the authority saddled with, providing security in our country. We have the police, and in Section 4 of the Police Act, that section, said it is the duty of the police to protect lives and property throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the question is, how well have the police, security agencies protected lives and protected properties owned by Federal Republic of Nigeria? Yes, Victor have said it, that those at the top should be blamed. If you authorize me to investigate that incident, I will name all the big men involved, beginning from the head of the TCN to whomever is in charge of the switching and switching on of that power supply. They all need to come and answer some questions. And also, the divisional police officer within that jurisdiction also should be questioned. We are not saying the police is complacent here, but what we are saying is somebody may have been negligent in his or her duty, because it is their responsibility, like the law says, that it is their responsibility to protect lives and property within throughout Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if somebody who is in charge of security in that location isn't questioned, then I think that investigation won't be complete.
Okay. Because
you can't tell me that such high level facility was dug up for hours.
40 meters.
40 meters was dug up for hours. People constantly digging to pull out that facility without fear
of power being restored.
No police van passed. The police, we know that they are everywhere. At that point, we can't find anyone.
And this actually happened close to the presidential
villa. To the presidential villa, where we have all the DSS, the military barracks. I know Abacha barracks is almost closer there. I mean, how could that happen? So it means people in authority are involved. People are actually cashing out with our power sector. That is one truth we need to look at in this country and say it the way it is. People are cash. Whenever you hear, that the national grid is down, I beg to be disagreed. Someone is cashing out in millions.
Okay. So they use the national grid. That's when the national grid collapses.
Everything blackout that has to do with power in Nigeria.
In order for that to happen.
People somewhere are cashing out
from the grid collapse.
From the grid collapse. And I mean, that facility that powers over 60% of Abuja must be a very high level.
And I wanted to ask now, and
it should even be protected.
In this instance, that's like we stated, it affected the presidential villa right now. do you think due consideration will be put into this? Because
There
times
will
you've
be,
been here at the studio, remember that we've had this conversation,
Yes.
you know, or if we can count how many times we've talked about this sabotage, electricity, power supply, and grid collapse and whatnot. You know, what do you think has to be done in this instance from TCN? What do you think has to be put in place? What are they supposed to do differently now that it has really hit the #1 citizen of the country?
Yes, we will not just look at it hitting the #1 citizen of the country. What we should be looking at is what measures are to be put in place to forestall this never happening
Do you
again.
know why I made that statement, please, Barrister Danzi? Because Victor and I have had this conversation before, and then it's now repeating itself.
Okay.
But I'm saying this now that we know that the presidential villa is involved. Do you think measures will be put into, you know, correcting this not to be happening over and over again?
Well, the Nigeria I know, we back so much and with little action. Ordinarily, what should be done is, if I were the president, I will instruct the IG to immediately embark on in-depth investigation.
Okay.
Beginning from the police force. So, like I said before, somebody, even beginning from him, the IG, because that is his jurisdiction. I wonder where, you know, the home of power in Nigeria, where all the security agencies are headquartered. This could be happening. So they need to look inwards. Are there officers in the police, the DSS, and other authorities that, you know, are conniving with hoodlums to do this? If there are not, they should give themselves a clean bill of health and look at other areas like the TCN itself, the Abuja Electricity Development Company. They should look at who is the persons on duty that has the authorization to either switch off or switch on. Such persons should be called in and asked questions. At what point did you switch off? What led to your switching off? Because before, I am not an engineer, but my common sense should tell me that before a power holding or electricity company will switch off, either there is overload or fault, or maybe they want the facility to cool down. This is a local language. A power holding officer told me one day. I jokingly asked him, but why do you guys just like switching off this thing off and on? Okay. He said, but Barrister, I suppose no now. The facility where would they use? Say go cool down small. We laughed over it.
And that's how Adelabu actually came out to say that. I'm sorry, that he said that we need to get used to the grid collapse. There was this. He said that the grid did not collapse 12 times like we mentioned, because Nigerians said every grid collapse had one month. In 2024, he said it could collapse 8 times. And then he came out to say that in as much as the grid has collapsed 8 times, according to him, that we should not be expecting it not to collapse again. So what is the possibility that this will not happen again? Because like you have stated here that this grid collapse, people are actually benefiting from it. So we are still going to expect another grid collapse. And they also benefit from it and do whatever has to be done when they do that, whatever it is that they do when the grid collapses. I don't really know. I want someone to get it, make me understand it here. Is this actually, this sabotage, will it actually, will they put a stop to this?
In my view, and what I strongly believe about the country, the answer is no. Because corruption have given birth to a bigger corruption, and that bigger one is growing with the intention of procreating more. So because they know the truth, they may want to conceal some of those whose fingers are burned. If, like I keep saying it, if I were the president, even Adelebu making that statement, I sack him immediately and ask for his prosecution. You can't tell me that you are an expert and you are given this position to manage this facility. you should go for the best. And those facilities, they won't tell us that they are not ISO certified. It's just all about standards. It's all about regulatory compliance. It means they have been, if they are not sabotaging by, stealing facilities, it is either they have been buying substandard facility. That is an offense of its own. So government need to look inwards and start doing the right thing. Right. If they really want Nigerians to hold them in confidence and trust whatever comes from both the federal, state and the local government should be responsive. Government should be responsible. Government should be truthful to the people. At that point, they will gain the confidence of Nigerians.
Okay, thank you so much.